wants tickets to this game. And I'm like, I have 4 tickets, so a lot of y'all are gonna have to buy some tickets in advance or do something else. But
VCU has never played a top 25 team at the Siegel Center. That changes tonight as number 17 Oklahoma comes to town. It's Jeff Capel's first trip to Richmond since leaving 4 years ago to take over the Sooners program. He brings a potent offense featuring sophomore guard Willie Warren. Shaka Smart and the Rams counter with full court havoc and a raucous sellout crowd behind them. Expect an explosive matchup as VCU takes on Oklahoma next on Ram Replay.
Major funding for Ram Replay is made possible by the Virginia Lottery, more than $4 billion to K-12 public education since 1999. The Virginia Lottery, helping Virginia's public schools. By McDonald's, I'm Loving It. By Virginia Farm Bureau Federation, helping protect Virginia farms and keeping fresh, safe local food on our tables. By Verizon Wireless, proud sponsor of the VCU Rams. By VCU Medical Center, every day a new discovery. And by At Home Care. There's no place like home for healthcare.
The toughest ticket in town, the Verizon Wireless Arena, is sold out for just the second time in the month of November to see the first ever ranked team in this arena. The number 17 Oklahoma Sooners are led by former VCU coach Jeff Capel, who says he's always going to have a place in his heart for VCU. Tonight, the friendship is put aside. It's just business as VCU battles Oklahoma. Welcome to Ram Replay alongside former VCU Ram Rodney Ashby. I'm Greg Burton. I'll tell you what, a team the caliber of Oklahoma doesn't come to a mid-major home arena very often. It's a big opportunity for VCU.
It sure is, and I hope we can cash in on it. I tell you what, we'll talk a little bit about how we got this game a little bit later in the game, but it's important for VCU, the VCU team, to come out and forget about what's on the front of the jerseys and come out and play Ram basketball.
No question. Not a empty scene in this arena, and electricity unlike we've seen early in the season. Starting lineups for the Rams: Joey Rodriguez, Jay Gavin in the backcourt, Larry Sanders about to jump ball here along with Bradford Burgess and T-Way Gwynn for Oklahoma. Their stud Willie Warren, Tommy Mason Griffin, Tony Crocker, Ryan Wright, and Tiny Gallon. Wright is in the circle with Larry Sanders, and the Rams win the tip. Sit back and enjoy Ram Replay. Joey Rodriguez being fronted by Mason Griffin. Gives it up to Jay Gavin, who's being fronted by Willie Warren. You'll hear his name a lot tonight. There's TJ Gwynn. Gwynn kicks it out to Joey. Pulls it back out, sets it up. 15 on the shot clock. And ball thrown away, but it's tipped by Willie Warren. And so it'll stay down here, but just 14 on the shot clock. We'll get into particulars about Oklahoma, who won their first 2 games, but this is their first road contest of the season. Rams, of course, coming off their first road contest, a loss to Western Michigan, so they're 1-1. Underneath, the Burgess, the bucket and the foul!
Great pass right there by Gavin. Burgess, nice back cut. Was able to collect it, go up strong with the ball, put it in the hole, and get a chance for a 3-point play right here in the beginning, Greg.
And good poise by Joey, because the ball was nearly stolen by Willie Warren. He stayed with it. Whip pass there to Burgess underneath, and the Rams are on the board.
Bradford Burgess at the line for the 3-point.
Bradford Burgess, sophomore from right here in Richmond, Virginia, knocks it down. So we're good to go. It's 3-0 VCU.
You know, Greg, you always talk about teams that press a lot don't like to get pressed, even though they press a lot in practice. And I'd be interested to see how both teams handle the pressure tonight.
Mason Griffin down to Tiny Gallon, and a turnover by Oklahoma. Sanders with the rock running the floor. Here's Jake Gavin to TJ Gwynn. The alley-oop and missed by Sanders. A little bit high on the pass, but that wingspan of Larry's still hauled it in. Shot. No good, off the front of the iron by Willie Warren. Gavin tracks it down ahead to Burgess. And again, this is the tempo the Rams want to play. Rodriguez to Gwynn. Gavin, fake, goes baseline, can't see it, so he comes back. Sanders for three, no, whoa! And that is an elbow there, and Burgess is on the deck. That was definitely an elbow, without a question, by Tommy Mason Griffin. Got Brad right in the eye, maybe the nose area, it's definitely the eye area. You see him there, and he smarts a little bit.
Oklahoma going to come in and try to be physical with the Rams early, see if they can get them to back down.
There's Larry underneath. Hello! All alone. Larry Sanders with a slam. It's 5-0 Rams. And here comes the press. That's Tiny Gallon with the rock right there. Tiny's his name, but as you can see, he is not. Big jam down the other end by Ryan Wright. And OU's on the board. It's 5-2. So much athleticism on this Sooners team. We'll get into it. They run 5'11", 6'4", 6'6", 6'9", 6'9". Sanders, no. Gwynn, rebound, bucket. Nice job by TJ Gwynn. 7-2. Quickly down court, there's Gallon, rebound, put back.
And we're going to have to find him on missed shots tonight, Greg. We're going to have to put a body on him. He's really strong. Rodriguez comes down and takes a shot, gathered back in by Gwynn. Boy, he's really strong. We're going to have to find a way to keep him off the boards tonight.
No question. Tempo right now. Fever pace. There's Rodriguez getting double teamed over to Gwynn. Fires up a three. No good. Rebound by Tiny Gallon. Gives it up to Willie Warren. And here comes Willie Warren. Preseason Player of the Year in the Big 12. He was the National Freshman of the Year 1 season ago, and they're going to call Larry on a block out front. Well, that's tough, because you certainly don't need Larry picking up a foul less than 3 minutes into this game.
No, we sure don't, Greg. I mean, that's one reason he's only averaging about 21 minutes a game right now. We have to find a way to stop exposing Larry and putting him in situations where he's going to foul.
There's Shaka Smart, who won his first ever game as Rams head coach a week ago, Friday the 13th, over Bethune-Cookman. Then, unfortunately, the Rams struggled on the road against Western Michigan, losing 83-67 in a game that they had in control and fell apart in the second half. We'll talk more about that as we move through tonight's broadcast. And they're going to call another foul. And they're going to call that on Jay Gavin. Jay Gavin. So two quick ones here on the Rams, who lead 7-4, less than 3 minutes into this game. Right now, 2 fouls each on the Sooners and the Rams. Mason Griffin with the rock. He's out front, over to Willie Warren. Willie squares up, there's Tiny Gallon with a turnaround, and it goes. Boy, he's got game, nice touch.
He does have nice touch, nice hands for a big man.
Some people remember Tiny Gallon played for Oak Hill Academy. He was on that Oak Hill team that Benedictine knocked off. So he's played in Richmond before. Ball knocked away, turnover by VCU. Willie Warren scoops it up, and there's Joey. Great hustle. Gavin scoops it up, brings it into the court, pulls up for three, buckets! Nice sequence.
It is, and Gavin out here tonight, 3 hours before the game, shooting shot after shot after shot, paying off early for the Rams.
Ed Nixon in the game now, along with Kirill Pashelnikov. Mason Griffin, another turnover. Great D there by Ed Nixon, who's pushing it right now. Ahead to Gavin, who's feeling it. Bingo! Look at Jay Gavin. Back-to-back threes. It's 13-6. This place is coming unglued. The sellout crowd at the Verizon Wireless Arena loving it. Looked like a travel. No, Gallon gets his own rebound. No, over the back. It looked like, and that's what they'll call. Tiny Gallon, great hustle. but definitely reached over, and we'll get our first time out. VCU 13, OU 6. Should be a fun one here tonight. This is obviously the second time these two teams are meeting in a year. They met 1 year ago in a game that Oklahoma won 81-70 back on December the 20th. So about 11 months ago. And Rodney, there's a reason why Oklahoma and VCU are playing back-to-back. When Jeff Capel was hired as head coach of Oklahoma, there was a provision in his VCU contract that said if he went to a BCS school, to get out of his contract, that school had to play VCU home and home. Yeah, it's a very unique provision that VCU athletic director Norwood Teague has been using, and it's a great way for them to get big-time games.
Yeah, you see this more and more common with the mid-major schools trying to protect themselves and get something back for developing the coaches for the BCS schools. And this is why we get the Rams, the Oklahoma Sooners back-to-back in back-to-back years. And we also have the same thing that's going to be coming up with Alabama in the next couple of years too, Greg. So great provision that the athletic staff here has in their contract.
Oklahoma won that one 81-70. Larry Sanders did have 16 in that game. The Sooners were led by Tony Crocker, 26, who is on this same team. But it's really creative way, you know, because let's be honest, VCU, powerful mid-majors, have trouble scheduling big-time games to improve their non-conference RPI. To play a team like Oklahoma, you got to get creative, and that's what Norwood Teague did. And again, as you mentioned, they'll be playing Alabama in coming years. I don't know if it's going to be next year, but certainly they're going to have a home and home coming up since Anthony Grant moved on to the SEC.
Yeah, outside of recruiting, I tell you what, their next round of calls, toughest round of calls is scheduling. And there's a coach all summer long, in the athletic department all summer long, banging calls out to these BCS schools, just seeing if we can get a home and home. There are lots of BCS schools that might would have us come play one road game there, but at this point, it's tough to go out there and play one road game and not get anything back.
No question. Well, I'll tell you what, if this pace keeps up, I won't have much of a voice, and neither will the over 8,000 fans in this joint, because, boy, it's been thoroughly entertaining, and we're only about 4 minutes and 8 seconds in. VCU 13, OU 6. Rams feeling good after back-to-back threes by Jake Gavin, who really struggled in his first ever game at the Verizon Wireless Arena against Bethune-Cookman. Ended up having a good game, but struggled with his shot from the outside. Brandon Rozelle now in, along with Joey Rodriguez, Ed Nixon, TJ Gwynn, and Kirill Pashelnikov. So certainly the Rams taking the outside opportunity. Oh, TJ looked like he was going to fire up a three, but he looked inside to Kirill, who had already turned his back. And that ball's going to stay down here, and Jeff Capel's not liking that call at all.
Great hustle right there by our main guy, Ed Nixon, always causing good things to happen by being around the ball, able to try to corral that in before he got knocked out by Mason Griffin.
11 seconds on the shot clock. Burgess pulls up. No. Rebound, Mason Griffin. Forward ahead, but it's knocked away. Not a good pass. Another turnover here by Oklahoma. Rozelle. Over to Rodriguez, back to Rozelle, straight away center, stroke. Oh, he's feeling it too. And the Rams are feeling good from beyond the three-point arc. It's 16-6.
The Rams looking really good behind the arc, shooting really well at their home court again tonight.
A 10-point lead against the number 17 team in the country. Mason Griffin with a three, and that is good to quiet some of the VCU faithful. That is their first three. It's 16-9. Rozelle, floater, doesn't go. Pashelnikov hustling for the rebound. Rodriguez tracks it down. They'll get a fresh 35. Nixon, back out to Rodriguez, and they'll set up the play. Rodriguez, Rozelle comes off a screen. He's got it. Back to Joey. 20 on the shot clock. As Shaka Smart barks out the play, Joey relays it to the other four on the floor. Rodriguez comes around. Hasn't been a substitution yet for Oklahoma. And Burgess' shot smacked away. 8 seconds on the shot clock.
I like that by Burgess, though. He realized he had a mismatch out on the perimeter, tries to take Tiny to the rack. Not a good result, but I like the effort of him taking it to the rack against Tiny.
And the first sub of the game for Jeff Capel Sooners, Stephen Pledger, a kid from Chesapeake, Virginia. So Jeff knows how to recruit the Commonwealth, that is for certain. Willie Warren was the only McDonald's All-American recruited by a 12 team. One on the shot clock. Theus, and it's good. He beats the buzzer. Darius Theus, the freshman. Nice poise. It's 18-9. Here comes pressure from the Rams. Warren being double teamed. That's knocked away. Tiny Gallon tracks it down. As the refs count down to 10, they get it across the timeline. Warren being guarded by Bradford Burgess.
Gallon really essential to the Oklahoma Sooners breaking this press so far. Almost every time he's been the one bringing it up across the court.
Warren freelancing down the lane, and they're going to go the other way. That's going to be a foul on Willie Warren, who has yet to score in this game. So right now the Rams certainly winning that first 5 minutes of the contest, and that's really what you got to do, Rodney, right? You got to break this game into segments.
Yeah, you do. And what we need to do in order to be successful tonight is for us to have more streaks in Oklahoma. And right now, we're in the middle of our first streak. And Greg, we're going to have to weather some before the night's over as well.
Nixon for three. Oh, yeah. The Rams are filling it up. Three-point land. A timeout by Jeff Capel. And the Ram faithful are on their feet. VCU 21-9 right now over the 17th ranked Oklahoma Sooners. It's a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here. I will say Jeff Capel was all smiles when he walked into the arena. He didn't take the court until there was about 30 seconds left on the pregame clock. And in true Jeff Capel fashion, a classy guy walked in with a big smile, shook hands with everybody at the official scorers table. He's seen all of these guys, many of them still the same fellas who worked the scorers table when he was here, shook hands with coaches, nodded to a couple of the longtime VCU alums. Certainly he's happy to be here in Richmond, Virginia for the first time since he left. But right now, he's not enjoying what's going on the court.
No, he's sure not. He's not real happy about the Rams coming out starting 4 for 7 from the three-point line at 57%. He'd like to see that cool down a little bit with a few hands up on challenging shots. Foul right there on Ed Nixon. Got a little touchy there with Warren.
Larry Sanders is back on the floor. He did pick up an early foul in the first 3 minutes of this game. So what we have is the freshman Theus guarding Willie Warren. That'll be a challenge. Then you got Nixon, Rozelle, Burgess, and Sanders. It's a combination we really haven't seen.
Coach Smart said early in the year he's going to play lots of different players at lots of different positions. And we're seeing
Turnover. Great hustle by Rozelle as Crocker kind of fell on top of him and then took a little poke, and they kind of separate him there a little bit. Great hustle by the Rams. They're playing with great confidence right now. They can sense that they've knocked Oklahoma back on their heels a little bit here in the first 7+ minutes of this game. Rozelle shaking it off a bit, and Tony Crocker's going to inbound to Willie Warren, who's guarded again by Darius Theus, the true freshman out of Portsmouth, Virginia, Norcom High School. Warren over to Stephen Pledger. Pledger to Crocker, fires up a three. Bingo. Nice bucket there. So it's 21-12. Quickly down court. Rozelle fires it up. Oh my. When he is feeling it, he will not stop shooting. (24-12). Bucket there. That was Crocker.
Yeah, Crocker right there shooting for the mid-range shot. Crocker is definitely not shy against VCU. At one point had his career high 26 points against us last year until he dropped 28 against Syracuse in the Sweet 16.
Well, as you know, Willie Warren is the guy on this team, but even though he has not scored, others can. Look at Larry Sanders. Goodness. Everybody's shooting threes, even the big boy. His first points of the game.
Hey,
correct me, that's a 5 now for Larry.
If you ask Shaka Smart if he thought Larry Sanders could shoot 50% from the three-point line, would he think he'd let him keep shooting?
It's 27-14, VCU by 13. Rozelle pushes it, Nixon. Back to Rozelle, who quickly saves it from going out of bounds, and they get it to Theus, and he looks back to Shaka Smart to get the play. 11-22 in this game. Rams looking great. Theus, up. Oh, he can't get it to go. Great move by the freshman. You like to see that kind of an aggressive play there by the freshman. And a touch foul there. They're going to call it on Darius Theus. That'll take us to the under 12 timeout. VCU 27, Oklahoma 14. Here at a sold-out Verizon Wireless Arena, let's throw it over to the public address announcer, Hunter Elliott.
Hey, Ram fans, it's playtime. Time for the Swader Sports Park Classic Birthday Party Giveaway. Hey, be sure and show your Ram spirit as our camera scans the crowd to find that lucky young Ram fan who will win our birthday party package for 8 guests. Swader Sports Park, the ultimate destination for fun and celebration, just 20 minutes south of Richmond, with laser tag, go-karts, mini golf, an indoor playground, batting cages, and corporate event facilities. Swader's has it all. Yes, indeed, we've found our lucky young Ram fan. Is that a precious face or what? Unbelievable. Congratulations, young lady. You've won our Swader Sports Park birthday party giveaway. Report to the Swader table and claim your prize.
You can do them off your computer. Well, the energy's still sky high here at the Verizon Wireless Arena with VCU leading Oklahoma 27-14. Rodney, you got some stats.
Yeah, Rams shooting 56% from the floor, 67% from the three-point line, and already have forced 5 turnovers just in the first 9 minutes here tonight. So on pace to get to our 20 goal per game. So right here also VCU winning the rebounding battle right now, 7-6. And I imagine Gallon with the most of those 6 rebounds.
Look at those 5 turnovers, though, by OU. VCU's been very aggressive. And this is the exact tempo that Shaka Smart wants to create. Night in, night out, he calls it havoc. And that's what he wants. And right now, the Oklahoma Sooners are feeling a little bit of a havoc hangover because certainly they have been knocked back on their heels.
You know, I think it's important right now to come out of this timeout. When you're playing a big-time team like this, you want to break the game up in segments, Greg, and you want to win. Each segment you want to win, broken up by the media timeout. So we've won the first 2 segments. Let's get out and win this next one.
All right, on the floor right now for VCU is going to be Jake Gavin, Joey Rodriguez, Bradford Burgess, Ed Nixon, and Larry Sanders. Again, Larry does have 1 foul, and that's something we're going to talk about a lot. Because when Larry gets in foul trouble, the whole dynamic of the Rams changes. Just under 11 minutes here in the first half, VCU by 13. Got Cade Davis in for Oklahoma on the floor. There's Mason Griffin, and he gets the shooter's bounce. It's 27-16. He has 5 in the game. Joey Rodriguez brings it up court, guarded by Mason Griffin, over to Ed Nixon, who's playing a lot of minutes here early on. Burgess over to Joey in the corner, thinks about a 3, pulls it back out, and so will Gavin, who will reset the offense. 15 on the shot clock. Larry over to Ed Nixon, who drives up and in.
We always talk about Ed Nixon being extraordinary, being able to get to the basket and just haven't been able to finish. Tonight, he's finished. That's great.
Nice job by Ed Nixon, and now OU gets it up court, and Larry's going to get called for over the back, I think.
Tough call by Larry right now.
Very tough call. That's a tough break right there. He got caught in a bad position. It looked a lot worse than it was, but as a ref, you're going to call that every time.
You know,
so Larry's going to sit out here, and maybe for most of the rest of the half. 10:05 left.
Yeah, I would think so. And
Quinn comes in.
When you're an official like that, you're in a position. You could have just given the ball to Oklahoma and given the ball back to them instead of calling a tic-tac foul on a premier player. You got 18 NBA scouts here tonight. They didn't come to see referees call tic-tac fouls on Larry Sanders or any of the Oklahoma McDonald's All-Americans.
Tony Crocker with a bucket there. He now has 7 in this game and a turnover for VCU. Bucket, Crocker, no. Pashelnikov rips down the rebound.
Great job right there by Jay Gavin to force the jump shot. When you're coming down and you're outnumbered, that's what you want to do, is try to force the other team to shoot a jump shot, and that's what they did.
Gavin misses his first 3. He had made back-to-back. Mason Griffin knocks it down, and it's 29-20 as OU starts to get the momentum coming on their side. 7 points right now for Tommy Mason Griffin, a freshman out of Houston, Texas. Gwynn over to Burgess. Rams led by as many as 13 in this game. Thanks to 6 of 10 shooting, 6 threes. Joey to Pashelnikov. Wow! An athletic move by the big Russian. You expect that from Larry Sanders, maybe not Kirill.
Yeah, and I tell you what, the Rams keep scoring, which allows us to keep putting the pressure on, which allows us to force the tempo to be our style.
Not sure, it looked like Mason Griffin stepped out of bounds. They said he was pushed out by Joey. So right now, the foul calls, 6 on VCU, 4 on OU. .8:42 to go. Shaka Smart trying to get clarified here. Where's the ball going to go? And they'll inbound it right here. This is going to be Cade Davis. He's on the floor with Tony Crocker, Mason Griffin, Willie Warren, and Ryan Wright. Tony Gallen out of the game right now. We thought maybe they'll try to exploit that. And it's knocked away, and it looked like it was going to be Rams' ball, but it'll stay down here. 24 on the shot clock. Rams really getting after it, hitting the deck, jumping on the floor to get any loose ball. That's what Shaka Smart wants to see. Crocker whips it around to Willie Warren. Fires up from deep. No good. Rozelle with the rebound. Brings it across the timeline. Rozelle looks to go to the baseline, throws it, not a good pass. Mason Griffin moving, shaking, baking, tries to get a Crocker. Looked like that should have been a travel, but it was more of a jump step, right?
Yeah, and I think they were going to say he was probably bobbling the ball when he was moving, so probably a good call right there by the official, and good hands by Crocker to be able to gather that back in and put it back in for 2.
31-22. 9-point cushion here for VCU, who has led the whole way. TJ Gwynn, no good.
VCU's offense, their spacing is so important when you're playing against an athletic team like Oklahoma, and doing a great job tonight in their spacing.
Kirill with the reach in. Look at this. Kirill picks up the loose ball, gets it over to Rozelle. Oh, wow. Just a bad break there for VCU. It was a good hustle play. Ball knocked away, saved by OU, and then they end up getting it back. And they're going to call another foul here. And now the Ram fans are getting a little frustrated with all the whistles on the black and gold.
You know, one thing that we don't want to do, Greg, is put the Sooners on the line a lot, because they're shooting 86% from the free throw line.
7:24 left. VCU 31, OU 22. Let's go over to Hunter Elliott.
On the floor. Hey, Ram fans, it's now time for the Delta Dental Smile and Smooch Cam. As our camera scans the crowd, be sure and show off those pearly whites and pucker up while you're at it, because the Smile and Smooch Cam could land on you. Hey, why are all these Ram fans smiling? Because the Rams are winners. Delta Dental has been giving Virginians a winning smile for over 40 years. Delta Dental is undefeated in providing affordable dental benefits to over 1 million fans across Virginia. Now that's something to smile about for sure. The camera is scanning the crowd to find a nice smile. Remember, you got to pucker up. Give her a kiss. Yes, indeed.
All right, welcome back to Ram Replay. VCU 31, Oklahoma 22. Things have been going very good for the Rams. They have led the entire way, although the momentum is starting to swing a little bit towards Oklahoma with some fouls called. VCU now has 17 fouls, Oklahoma just 4. It was 2-2 at one point, so you can do the math. 5 out of the last 7 have been whistled on VCU.
Yeah, we have to be careful about that. We talked a little bit before we went to the Delta Dental break about how well Oklahoma shoots from the from the free throw line at 86% this year.
So on the floor for VCU is going to be the freshman Darius Theus, Jake Gavin, Kirill Pashelnikov, TJ Gwynn, and Rozelle. The ref was standing in the way. I didn't see Brandon Rozelle there. And it looks like Tommy Mason Griffin's going to go to the line here for the Sooners. He's a freshman out of Houston, Texas. You know, they have the senior, Ryan Wright and Tony Crocker, but then they have 2 freshmen and a sophomore, plus Stephen Pledger's a freshman. Cade Davis is a junior. It's a lot of talent. Mason Griffin knocks down the first there. He now has 8 in this game, and he is it's not their leading scorer. Crocker has 9. And off the front of the rim. So here come the Rams. It's 31-23. Gwynn drives, and they're going to call a foul here. Was it on Gallen or is it on Cade Davis? Certainly they'd like to get Tiny Gallen, number 24, all 6'9", 220 of him, but very athletic.
Yeah, very athletic for a big man. Nice touch, averaging 12.5 rebounds a game.
Rozelle gets it out to Gavin, who pulls it out and runs this offense. Pashelnikov, little move to the bucket. Kirill feeling it tonight. That was a nice move, just couldn't get it to fall. And the Sooners hustle up court. It's Mason Griffin. There's Cade Davis, a rainbow. Look at Gwynn ripping down the rebound with authority. Ahead to Rozelle, who's going to go in the lane, kick it out to Gavin. Nice drive, easy lay-in. Great, smart move by Jake Gavin.
Great passing, great spacing. This is why the Rams are able to continue to get in this pressure and force Oklahoma into our pace.
33-23, Rams by 10. Jake Gavin has 9 in this game. But very balanced scoring. Rozelle with 6. Pashelnikov saves it, well done. Theus to Gavin, down to TJ Gwynn. Little spin move, great bucket.
Nice spin move right there by Gwynn. He got himself back together and put it up on Gallen. Gallen looks like he's breathing a little heavy right now, Greg.
Back to 12 for VCU. 6 minutes left in this first half. It's been all Rams. Gavin, fronting Warren, who kicks it out. And that's Pledger from the corner, no. Gallen looked like he cleared out. Wow, they're gonna call that on Kirill Pashelnikov, but it's sure like Tiny Gallen cleared out with both elbows, Rodney.
Yeah, I think he had one hand holding Gwynn and one hand holding Pashelnikov, but the second guy gets caught, Pashelnikov breaking free, gets the call, so we're gonna put Gallen, number 24 Gallen on the line right now.
8 fouls on the Rams, 5 on the Sooners, as Tiny Gallen goes to the line. He's a freshman. He's from Viejo, California, but he went to Oak Hill, and he played at the Robbins Center against Benedictine last year.
Gallen, a 88% free throw shooter, Greg.
Tiny Gallen played with Brandon Jennings on that Oak Hill game. On that Oak Hill team, Brandon Jennings now lighting up for the Milwaukee Bucks after a year in Europe, bypassing college. Nixon's on the floor with Rozelle, Gavin, Gwynn, and Burgess. Larry Sanders on the bench with 2 fouls. Gavin into the lane, knocked away, and it looks like it'll stay here. Yeah, it went off on Crocker. Jeff Capel, a little frustrated with his team, who has not gotten into sync very much in this first half. As we approach 5 minutes left in this first half, 5:26. Jeff Capel, his first trip back to Richmond. Of course, last year, the Sooners beat VCU down in Norman, Oklahoma. It's the first ever ranked team to play in this building. And Capel, animated and frustrated on the sidelines. Not with the officiating, with his team.
And these are Big 12 officials tonight, Greg.
Yes. So Rozelle comes out. Rodriguez comes in. Again, just 16 fouls, so the next one will put VCU in the bonus. Nixon over to Gavin. 5:10 in this first half. Nixon, great little dish to Gwynn. One bounce into the lane, can't get it to go. Nixon can't, body's on the floor. Burgess back out. Rodriguez for three, count it. Joey Rodriguez.
And how about Ed Nixon keeping that ball alive for the Rams right there, allowing Rodriguez to be able to pick up his second or third of the game.
The biggest lead of the night for VCU, 15. And they're gonna call a charge. TJ Gwynn, great defensive placement under the basket. 38-23, VCU by 15. Look at Bradford Burgess picking up the mop.
He'll do it all, Greg.
They're blue collar, I'll tell you, baby. Look at him. Bradford Burgess. Excellent job. And now he's got the towel. Hey, listen, these guys don't want to slip. And if it means they got to wipe it up, I'll wipe it up. He's a good kid, Bradford Burgess, from right here in Richmond, Virginia. Chesterfield, of course. So it'll come back down the other way. And who's coming in here? This is number 41, Ray Willis, a sophomore out of Atlanta, Westlake High. And, you know, to this point, Jeff Capel had only made 2 substitutions. Rodriguez over to Nixon. Nixon drives. Great look to Gwynn. Underneath, gets ripped by Wright. But they're going to call a foul on Wright. Yeah, they are going to call a foul on Wright. And Jeff Capel now starting to get on the officials.
You know, last year at Oklahoma City, Jeff picked up a T.
Yeah, Jeff is absolutely getting on the officials here tonight. James Brenning Jr., Brent Moe, and Andrew Walton. We don't know these guys. They're Big 12 officials. Jeff knows them, and he's not happy with them right now. And the fouls have evened out now at 8 apiece. TJ Gwynn on the line. TJ Gwynn was recruited to VCU by Jeff Capel. It's really the only connection on the roster.
Yeah, and the only reason he is able to play right now, he's a 5th-year senior, so that's kind of how it worked.
But Jeff Capel saw him down in Burlington, North Carolina, said he was too good of an athlete to pass up. Football player, soccer even.
Who does he remind you of? Jesse Calarosa.
No question, and that is the exact, that's funny you should bring that up, because on the radio show this week, that's exactly who Jeff Capel compared him to, Jesse Pelarosa. 40-23. It's a 17-point cushion. Crocker goes in. Foul. It's going to be called on TJ Gwynn. That'll be his first.
And that's senior leadership right there by Tony Crocker. Seeing that they need to get the momentum back going to the Sooner way a little bit, takes the ball to the basket and draws the foul. So now he's going to be going to the basket, going to the free throw line. Crocker, a 67% free throw shooter from the line this year.
And of course, he was the big scorer a year ago in that Oklahoma win over the Rams, where he had 26. Crocker gets one to go here. So I believe Crocker now has 9-10 for the game. He's their leading scorer. But if we talk about 5-minute segments, you're going to upset a team like this if you win 5-minute segments. Well, they won the first 5, the second 5, the third 5, and they're in the final 5 of this first half. And it's been all VCU. Crocker makes them both. He now has 11, and it's 40-25. Gavin kicks it out to Ed Nixon. Can't get it to go. Rams have 8 threes in this first half. I believe it's 8 threes.
7 for 12 right now.
7 for 12. Warren spin move. He's called for walking. He wants a call. We're going to get a timeout here. It's the under 4 timeout. VCU 40, Oklahoma, 25 in a game dominated by the Rams. Let's throw it courtside to Kelly Lemon.
Thanks, guys. And I'm a better person to talk about Coach Capel. I was here for the 4 years that he was here, and I got to do those in-depth interviews with him before the game, during the game, and after the game. And unfortunately, I didn't get to talk to him today. As you all have already said, 30 seconds before the game started, that's when he came out. But I did get to talk to him on Facebook. And as my Facebook status reads today, I love you, Coach Capel, but tonight you are the enemy. If I know him well, he is a poised man, and he has kept his composure so far. You talked about segments. Coach Capel does 4-minute segments. He tries to win before every timeout. So he's lost the first 3 segments, so you're going to start to see that tie unloosened. The jacket is definitely about to come off, and Coach Capel is about to start coaching and turning up the lesson. He is more than ecstatic to be back in Richmond. This is the first time that he's come back to Richmond since he has left us, and Richmond still has a lot of love for Coach Capel. He did an excellent job while he was here. He kind of sparked that VCU basketball spirit. Coach Mack and Sonny Smith and all those former coaches, VCU needed someone like Coach Capel to turn that spirit up with the students, and that's exactly when it changes. So we welcome back Coach Capel, but down with Oklahoma. Back to you guys.
Thanks so much, Kelly Lemon. Jeff Capel has a lot of affection for VCU. As Kelly mentioned, the family, they made this a little bit of a family vacation. Of course, he was an assistant before he became the youngest head coach in the country in Division I at the time. One NIT appearance, the NCAA appearance in 04, of course, 4 seasons before he left for Oklahoma. And I had him on the radio show earlier this week. And of course, he said he's got a lot of affection for VCU, the fans. He'll never forget it. It's where he got his first head coaching job. He'll never forget it.
Yeah, it is, and I tell you what, the fans really respect him as well. He really was the one that started to create the foundation of our success right now.
Yeah, that resurgence. There's no doubt about it. That certainly that CAA championship, and then they went down to Raleigh, North Carolina, and nearly knocked off NC State in Jeff's only NCAA tournament game with the Rams. A lot of excitement, certainly, and he's a big part of why Ram basketball is at an all-time high for enthusiasm and morale and interest. On the floor is Theus, Gavin, Nixon, Gwynn, and Burgess. Wow, swatted away. Gavin hauls it down. There's still 10 on the shot clock. Gavin throws up a 3 off the front of the rim. Rebound there by Wright.
I think Jay had thought there was a little bit less time on the shot clock than there was right there, and took a quick 3-pointer right there.
40-25. VCU by 15. They've led the entire way. Led by as many as 17. Willis, no good. Gwynn, that was not a good possession for Oklahoma. Theus running it out front, kicks it over to Gavin on the wing, back out to Theus, who looks back to Shaka Smart for the play, pulls it out, plenty of time on the shot clock, there's 20 seconds. Theus trying to penetrate, shake and bake, pulls up for the jumper, off the back iron, no good.
You know, earlier in the half, the Rams were doing really good running our offense and spacing. Last 2 times down the court, individual moves put us into missed shots.
So there's Willie Warren. Over to Willis. 2:30 left in this first half. VCU by 15. There's Crocker down the lane. No good. Wright tries to haul in the rebound, and he puts it back in. Bucket there by Ryan Wright, who has 4. And it's 40-27, 13. There's Gwynn from the foul line. Good look underneath to Burgess. He had a good shot, but he realized Burgess had a better shot.
And nice heads-up play by Burgess, being ready for the ball as well. He could have been going straight up for the rebound, but instead, aware of where the ball was able to gather that in and put it in.
5 points for Bradford Burgess. And the ball's going to go which way? It's going to go over to VCU. They have been able to do this with Larry Sanders on the bench with 2 fouls.
Larry just 7 minutes on the court in the first half right now. We're not going to win a lot of games like that, but Karel Pashelnikov and anybody else that's been up, TJ Gwynn filling in, playing some extra minutes.
Nixon's
really
playing a lot of minutes.
Yep.
I think that's absolutely incredible that they've got 42 points in the first half against the number 17 team in the country, and Larry's played 7 minutes in the first half, saddled with 2 fouls. There's Theus. They need to take a good shot here. Burgess takes that shot, And the rebound is loose. Gwynn underneath, tries to get it. Who's it out on? Said it last touch by White, and it'll go over to Oklahoma.
Good call. Gwynn just couldn't get his fingertips on it right there, Greg.
Boy, their adrenaline just has to be sky high right now. 1:30 left in this first half. VCU by 15 over number 17 Oklahoma. Willie Warren with the rock. Gives it up there to Stephen Pledger. He's a Virginia native. They're going to call a foul. Is that going to be on Gwynn? That's his second. Second foul there on TJ Gwynn, who has just had a fantastic first half. Granted the 6th half, but he's got several clutch rebounds, a couple of steals, really just hustling, and allowing the Rams to play at that breakneck, or I guess what Shaka wants to say, that havoc-filled pace that he desires. Stephen Pledger's on the line. He's a freshman out of Chesapeake. Went to Atlantic Shores High School. This is a kid that VCU recruited, and they thought they had a really good chance, and he ended up going to Oklahoma.
Pledger averaging 35 minutes a game, or 17 minutes a game right now.
Pledger on the line, and he knocks down the second one. So his first bucket. Certainly he has some family here. And it's 42-28. A 14-point lead here by the Rams. It's knocked away by Cade Davis, who gets the handle on it, gives it up to Warren. So a turnover there by the Rams. Here's Warren, shake and bake in the lane, no good, saved. And there is Willie Warren, and I believe that is Willie Warren's first bucket of the game. Willie Warren goes scoreless for 19 plus minutes. 19 plus minutes. This is a guy who is the preseason player of the year in the Big 12. He was the National Freshman of the Year, a McDonald's All-American. I think I mentioned earlier, he was the only McDonald's All-American signed by a Big 12 school, and he went to Jeff Capel in Oklahoma. But for the Rams to hold him scoreless, just amazing. It's not fitting the formula other than that they're playing at the pace the Rams want. But with Larry on the bench, Warren scoreless, it's kind of crazy there, Rodney.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we knew some of the key points of the game was to be able to prevent Oklahoma from having streaks. We've done that. The other thing is that we had to really shoot well from the three-point line. We've done that. But the thing that we saw that we weren't sure we were going to be able to do is we're winning in the statistical category in almost every single major category, Greg. And that's hats off to the Rams right now, bouncing back after that loss.
Right now, what's a goal? 53 seconds left, you're up by 12.
You know, I think you want to come down right here and run, naturally Shaka called a timeout right there. You have to use your 30 or you lose it, so great call right there by him. Come down, get a good execution, burn a little time off the clock, and see if we can get out of this half with a double-digit lead.
Certainly would be an A+ if they could accomplish that. Rozelle with the ball, 25 on the shot clock, and he backs it out, and you're going to see if they want to try to use it. They like to play up tempo, but they want to eat some clock, and there's a turnover. And there's Crocker on the break, and the bucket, and the foul. And that's not what VCU wanted.
No, how savvy is Crocker, though? Did you see him when he's coming down the lane right there, really force the contact to be able to get the foul and one, the basket and one.
Tony Crocker had 26 a year ago against the Ram, has 13 in this first half with a chance to add one more. Well, the Rams have the ball. There's the Rock, so 42-32, and you would expect they're going to hold this for the whole duration. Maybe move the offense at what, 10, 8 seconds, Rodney?
Yeah, I think you want to get a shot up with less than 4.
Underneath, but Burgess is wide open, so they say go for it.
You got to take that.
So what do we know, right?
You're going to give me like that, you got to take it.
7 for Burgess. Crocker, baseline. Cross court to Pledger. 3, no. Rebound, Crocker knocked away. Willie Warren, 2 seconds, in. And that is going to be the final bucket of the first half. But certainly a first half, one top to bottom, start to finish by VCU. They're up 10. Kelly Lemon has Shaka Smart.
Coach, up by 10. Thoughts on the first half of play?
Yeah, I thought our guys gave great effort. We got to do a better job taking away second shots. But I was pleased with what they did down there. We got to keep playing together and keep playing hard.
Good luck in the second. We'll talk to you after the game.
Thanks, Kelly.
Shaka and to Kelly. VCU 44, Oklahoma 34, and certainly the Rams, without Larry Sanders for most of the first half, to have a 10-point lead over the 17th ranked team in the country. It's a major accomplishment. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be back with some halftime stats, and the second half is ahead right here on Ram Replay.
Who proved that blood circulates through the human body? If you were a student at a Virginia public school, you'd know the answer is B, William Harvey. This has been a Virginia Lottery educational moment. Virginia Lottery.
What a difference a day makes. 24 little hours brought the sun and the flowers where there used to be rain.
What element is the main component of most stars? If you were a student at a Virginia public school, you'd know the answer is C, hydrogen. This has been a Virginia Lottery educational moment. Virginia Lottery.
What a difference a day makes. 24 little hours brought the sun and the flowers where there used to be rain.
Many of you have heard the phrase, to whom much is given, much is expected. Well, you can expect a standard of excellence from VCU basketball. We are going to wreak havoc on our opponent's psyche and their plan of attack. So guys, is the opportunity to take this program to even
Verizon Wireless Arena. VCU will take a 10-point lead into the second half of this game, 44-34. Rodney, the difference in this, the three-point line.
Yeah.
VCU 7 of 15, Oklahoma 2 of 12.
Yeah, if we can continue to shoot like that, 47%, and we keep them from shooting 17%, I think we're going to be okay at the end of the night.
No question, VCU pretty much dominated the first half from start to finish. They never trailed. They led by as many as 17, 40-23 was their largest lead. Oklahoma a little run in the last 3 minutes, which got it down to 10, 44-34, and the Rams start the second half with the ball. Larry Sanders underneath played just 7 minutes in the first half. He picked up a foul 3 minutes in, then another foul at the 10-minute mark, and sat for the last 10 minutes of the first half.
And we go to him early here in the first half, which we need to. Anytime he's in the game, we need to go to him and see if we can get him a few points.
He still had 5 in the first 7 minutes.
And a three-pointer.
And, yeah, how could I forget that? That might have been the highlight of the first half. Larry, the big man, dialing up from long distance. There he is. Hands it off to Joey. 20 on the shot clock. There's Jay Gavin, who had a few threes, and a nice little jumper there, and VCU knocks it down. It's 46-34, and here comes the pressure.
Any naysayers about Jay Gavin after the first half of the Bethune-Cookman game are believers now, I assure you.
Yeah, he was 3 of 5 in the first half, including 2 threes. There's Willie Warren, who had just 2 points in the first half. Last year's National Freshman of the Year held scoreless for 19-plus minutes in the first half. He has just 2 in this game. Larry can't find the soft touch, and that is Tommy Mason Griffin with a rock, bringing it up court. Out to Willie Warren, who just runs over top of Jay Gavin, but guess those feet weren't set, Rodney.
Not quite there, Greg. You know, I think his feet were set, but he kind of leaned into him a little bit. But great attempt right there by Jay Gavin. I'll take that effort any day of the week.
And so will Shaka Smart in his second home game. You see him there, one back on Friday the 13th, beating Bethune-Cookman. They're coming off a loss, and I got a great stat about the Rams following losses. We'll get to that next chance. Mason Griffin down to Tiny Gallen, backing down Larry Sanders, steps. Nice move there.
Yeah, great defensive play right there by Larry. That's what you call with the big man taking the chair out from underneath him. So you give him a little pressure on the first bump, and then you release on the second bump, cause nice walk right there by Gallen.
In the last 5 years following a VCU loss, the Rams are 33-9, including last year they were 7-1. So they don't have many back-to-back L's. Shows a lot of heart, good coaching. Sanders on the block, spin move, buckets. 48-34. And here comes that pressure. Havoc from the Rams.
And you see the difference right there by Larry Sanders, that time in the paint when he took that shot. The time before, he shot a fade away.
10 seconds. The Rams force the turnover with Tenacious D, and they're pounding on their chest.
Larry Sanders trying to get the crowd pumped up. The crowd is ready tonight.
Boy, Larry was right in front of us, looking at the crowd behind us, thumping on his chest, saying, let's get this thing going.
Larry's got plenty of energy. 7 minutes in the first half, so.
Yeah, he's feeling good, right? 48-34 is our score. Joey inside to Larry, tries to get the dunk. That's going to be a foul on Ryan Wright. And that'll be his third. Oh, I'm sorry, looking at the wrong scoreboard. Actually, it's his third, yeah.
Great pass right there by Rodriguez. And last year, Greg, he couldn't have made that pass. The strength conditioning that he really worked hard over the summer after he decided to come back to VCU and made a commitment to the new strength and conditioning coach, he could not have made that pass last year. Great pass right there by Rodriguez.
Larry Sanders on the line, of course, found himself in foul trouble in the first road game of the year against Western Michigan. And that certainly was one of the elements that led to that loss. Disappointing loss to Western Michigan, 83-67. But tonight, Larry on the floor, feeling good, knocks down that first free throw and rattles the second one. So Larry with 8 points in this game. Again, he played just 7 minutes in the first half, and you see there, not even contesting that shot, Rodney, right?
Yeah, that's a nice, smart play for Larry. I'll give up that layup for if it's Larry Sanders all night long in order to keep him in the game, and that's why. Oh, picks up one here, though. No, block.
Whoa. And Jeff Capel shaking his head like, no way, no way. Of course, the story coming into this game was the return of Jeff Capel, but the Rams have stolen the headlines away from their former coach. Jeff has not been happy with his team, nor some of the officiating, but it's gone both ways in this contest. Right now, OU has 3 team fouls. VCU 1. Larry on the line sinks the first. It's 50-36. Larry Sanders with 9 in this game. Gavin's leading the Rams with 10. Sanders knocks it down, so he now has 10, and the Rams are up 15, and here comes full court pressure. Tiny Gallon with the ball over to Mason Griffin. Down the lane, layup. Good position by Larry. There's Tony Gallon with a putback and bucket.
We got to find a way to recover quickly on defense once we get beat on this press to keep Gallon off the board. Second time in a row he's been able to pick up a chip shot right there.
For a guy who's 6'9", 290, man, he moves swiftly. Shot by Joey, no good. Rebound Tony Crocker, and here comes OU. It's 51-38. And a bucket, and the Sooners can score in a hurry. I don't think there's any doubt about it.
No, we can't.
51-40.
We can't give up easy baskets like that if we want to come out on the right side of this at the end of the night.
I think that was Andrew Fitzgerald seeing his first action in this game, and he quickly notches a bucket. Gavin from straight away, good. Jake Gavin stops the bleeding with a 3. 54-40, and that is Jake Gavin's third 3 of the night. Warren pushing it. Larry straight up in the air, and is going to get called for a foul. And that's a shame because there's really nothing that Larry could do.
No, he was exposed right there. 3-on-1 break. He did everything he could to try to force the jump shot, but that was just honestly great heads-up play by Warren right there to go and take it to him.
Yeah, that's why he's the preseason player of the year in the Big 12, the national freshman of the year a year ago.
Warren right now with only 4 points, knowing he's not shooting real well. Headsy play to go in there and take it up and try to get a.
And Larry just stood straight up in the air, hand straight up in the air, and it was Warren who initiated the contact, but they're going to call that on the defender every time.
Yeah.
So right now, Larry's going to stay in the game. It looks like now there's a bunch of guys ready to check in. He's coming out. So he plays just 3 minutes and 30 seconds, gets some points. And he's certainly as frustrated as Kirill Pashelnikov comes in. Bradford Burgess, Ed Nixon, TJ Gwynn, and Larry Sanders go out. So it's Rodriguez, Gavin, Nixon, Burgess, and Pashelnikov as Warren knocks down his second. So he now has 6 points after no points in the first 19 minutes. 6 in the last, 4? You don't want to see that guy heat up, that's for sure. It's 54-42. Burgess over to Rodriguez. It's Pashelnikov, who's been playing. Look at that, great move, can't finish. Very, very nice move there by Kirill Pashelnikov. Just couldn't get it to fall. There's Fitzgerald, who again, seeing his first time in this game. And they're going to call a foul, looks like on Pashelnikov maybe? Yeah.
The official after the last free throw, Greg, gave Pashelnikov a warning to, hey, you can't use both hands in the back of the back, and got caught right there for a chip.
All right, it's VCU 54, Oklahoma 42. Let's throw it over to public address announcer Hunter Elliott.
Hey, Ram fans, please welcome to the court VCU Director of Athletics Norwood Teague, accompanied by VCU President Dr. Michael Rao and his wife Monica Rao. This summer, the Ram Athletic Fund launched a new campaign to increase its number of donors. It's called Shoot for 1,000, as the Ram Athletic Fund wants to increase its membership to 1,000 donors. Ram fans are encouraged to sign up fellow Rams and earn points that can be redeemed for great VCU gifts and trips with the team. Director of Athletics Norwood Teague will now officially sign up Dr. Rao and Mrs. Rao as the newest members of the Ram Athletic Fund. And for that, Norwood is eligible for a Nike hat. That's 2 donors for Norwood. Good job, Norwood. Everybody else here, 2 donors for the Ram Athletic Fund.
All right, President Rao and his wife, along with Athletic Director Norwood Teague, and shoot for 1,000 as they look to add more and more of the Ram faithful officially on the Athletic Club docket. Certainly there's room for everyone here in the Ram Nation. VCU 54, Oklahoma 42. We are just 4 minutes in to the second half, and Larry Sanders did pick up his 3rd foul, and he's on the bench after playing just 7 minutes in the first half. He played 3.5 in the second before he had to take another seat. That is one storyline in this game. The other is the Rams from outside. They have knocked down 8 threes in this game, Rodney.
Yeah, they sure have. Shooting 50% from the three-point line. And the other thing is, we talked about winning segments. We won that one by 2, Greg, so let's keep this up for a couple more segments. So we're going to have a good night tonight.
54-52. The lead has been as much as 17 for the Rams, who have led from the start. Jeff Capel's Oklahoma Sooners, ranked 17th in both the AP poll and the coaches poll, playing their first road game. Capel said you always worry when your team goes on the road for the first time in a season, especially in a hostile environment. That's why so many coaches like the neutral game contest for a first road game. Gavin for 3. Bounces off the back of the rim. A great hustle by Burgess. Tracks down the rebound. They'll get a fresh 35 and they'll pull it out. Joey Rodriguez with the ball along with Jay Gavin is on the floor with Kirill Pashelnikov, Burgess, and Nixon. There's Gavin trying to find a screen. Some space. Burgess for 3. No. Warren with a rebound. Willie Warren. I guess it's Willie Warren the 3rd because he's got the 3 Roman numerals there on the back. Most people just call him Stud because he is a heck of a player. There's Tiny Gallen, kicks it out to Warren for the 3 off the front of the rim. Gavin with the rebound, and Warren twisted his ankle, and Willie Warren is hurt. Willie Warren landed very awkwardly after that 3. Maybe a cramp. Maybe it's a cramp in his calf, but he's coming off the court. He landed awkwardly. Very, very awkwardly.
When he came down, he saw he was missing that shot short, landed, tried to go after it, and something just snapped like that. I don't know.
Wow,
it could have been a cramp. Yeah.
That would be a huge blow there, and he's definitely grabbing his calf, his left calf. So, boy, he comes out of the game. So we'll see how that goes. So on the floor then for them is Mason Griffin and Tony Crocker and Ryan Wright and Tony Gallen and Cade Davis. I'm sorry, it's Pletcher, not Crocker. 15 seconds left on the shot clock. Rams by a dozen. Rozelle comes off the screen, on the wing with a rock. Try to square up for a 3, instead looks. There's 5 on the shot clock, down to TJ Gwynn. There's 3 on the shot clock. He muscles and knocks it home. Good bucket by TJ Gwynn, who now has 8 in this game and has played very valuable minutes for the Rams, especially with Larry Sanders on the bench. Crocker, sweet move inside, hits the deck, but they count it. 56-44 as the Rams hustle up court. That's Ed Nixon on Cade Davis. Underneath to Gwynn, goes up, fake, no, kicks it out to Rozelle. Thinks about a 3. Back out front to Rodriguez. Nice job by Rozelle. Didn't force the shot. There's Nixon for a 3. He gets fouled. And Ed Nixon's going to go to the line for 3.
Nice patience by the Rams right there. They had Gwynn, thought he had a shot underneath the basket, decided to kick it back out, set it back up. Nice baseline cut by Nixon, and going to get 3 free throws right here.
I talked to Mike Ellis at halftime of this game, who obviously is part of the Rams radio broadcast with Robbie Robinson. He just says it's night and day the way the Rams are playing right now compared to the way they played in Western Michigan. Granted, they were leading early, but they never played with this kind of intensity. Nixon knocks it down. He has 6 in the game. And Ed Nixon, too, has played very valuable minutes. We've seen some different lineups and combinations, with Larry Sanders on the bench. And there's Nixon with 7. Let's see if he can get the unconventional three-pointer here. And Larry's going to come back out on the floor. Interesting move, Rodney.
Hey, when you're playing the number 17 team in the country, you got to have your horses on the court and get as many minutes as possible. He can't play 7 minutes in the first half and the second.
Nixon gets all 3. Darius Theus comes in as well. So it's Theus, Nixon, Rozelle, Gwynn, and Sanders. 13:40 left. Rams by 15. That's Mason Griffin with a line. Willie Warren still on the bench with a towel over his head. Pledger, the Virginia native, misses the 3. Crocker rebound, knocked away by Nixon, but rebounded by Oklahoma. That's Cade Davis. Air ball. Air ball. Is that and that was shot clock? Oh, they're going to call foul on Rozelle.
Yeah, Rozelle just caught in the wrong place at the wrong time. Undercut Pledger right there at the end. But great defense right there with the Rams. Putting hands up on this three-point shot from Cade. 2 Rams coming out to force that air ball right there.
So it's 13:20 to go. Stephen Pledger, who's a freshman out of Chesapeake, who went to Atlantic Shores High School. He was actually recruited by Anthony Grant and VCU. Decided to go to Oklahoma. Opportunity to play for Jeff Capel, who has been mostly in his seat for this game. He's now crouched beside the Oklahoma bench as he watched Pledger try to knock down another. And he does. Stephen Pledger now has 3 in this game. And the lead is 13, 59-46. Win over to Darius Theus, down to Larry Sanders. Tries to back down Tiny Gallon, the little one hand, and he gets the roll.
Nice
Larry Sanders.
Big time move right there with the baby hook. Really extended that arm, and nice shot.
A dozen for Larry. As he guards Tiny Gallon in the lane. There's Willie Warren back in the game. And that's, wow. And Shaka kind of turns his back and shakes his head. A little surprised on that one. Is that on Rozelle?
Yeah, that's on Rozelle. That's really frustrating as a player when you feel like you're playing solid defense, and the contact was called by Crocker right there. I'm not quite sure what the call was.
So the Rams up 15. Pledger, that is a 3, and it's good, and it's 61-49. And Jeff Capel called a timeout there? Yeah. Jeff Capel called a timeout, stopped the bleeding there a little bit. So that's and it extends to a full timeout here. So I think we're going to over to public address announcer Hunter Elliott.
For the Qdoba Big for Queso Burritos. The VCU. Our cheerleaders will scan the crowd and find the hungriest Ram fan and deliver fresh hot Qdoba Queso Burritos. Qdoba Mexican Grill, located 1 block away on Broad Street. Hey, while you're begging for Qdoba Burritos, listen to tonight's Verizon Wireless winning song by Miley Cyrus.
As the fans rock out to a little Miley Cyrus here, they're certainly feeling good with the Rams leading 61-49 over the 17th ranked Oklahoma Sooners. And Larry Sanders has a dozen points in this game. He does have 3 fouls, but here's a shocking statistic, Rodney Ashby.
Yeah, Larry Sanders with only 1 rebound tonight, and you're not going to see that very often. He easily can put up double figures in rebounds, but you know, right now one thing too though is we're shooting so well from the field. That's going to reduce the number of attempts as well.
They're shooting 50% for the game, 50% from 3, 8 of 16, while Oklahoma is 2 of 14 from the 3-point line. They do have a slight edge now in the rebounding category after it was tied 17-17 at the break. But VCU certainly feeling good, confidence sky high. Look at Larry Sanders standing at the top of the key, exhorting the Ram faithful, get on your feet. Let's knock off number 17. 12 and a half minutes still to go. A lot of basketball, but they're feeling confident. And this is Larry Sanders' 21st birthday.
This would be a great birthday present. But this right here, 61-49, this is why you can't schedule BCS schools at home.
You're exactly right, Rodney. We'll see if Alabama tries to get out of their home and home. Darius Theus with the ball. Around to Ed Nixon. Nixon at the top of the key, guarded by Stephen Pledger, a Virginia native playing for Oklahoma. There's Darius Theus out front, 10 on the shot clock. Got to move, 7. There's Theus, the floater, good. Didn't look like a freshman there.
Hey, was that Eric Maynard?
I think you're not the only one who's thinking that right now, Rodney. 63-49. Darius Theus.
Oh. Just got a little bit too much arm right there, but great defense right there by Theus, and definitely a nice, good shot down there in the lane, coming down to our 12-minute media timeout.
Yes, it is. 11:50 to go. VCU 63, Oklahoma 49. Let's throw it over to the baseline. That's where Kelly Lemon is.
All right, guys, it is trivia time again. This is something new that we're bringing to Ram Replay. So the question for today is, how old was Jeff Capel when he became head coach of the VCU Rams? Again, how old was Jeff Capel when he became the head coach of the VCU Rams? Of course, I will have your answer in the next timeout. But a little other news about VCU athletics. Congratulations to VCU volleyball. They are the CAA regular season championships. If you want to see them in action, there's still time. Monday and Tuesday night, right here at the Siegel Center, the VCU volleyball team will be in the CAA tournament. They are the hosts, so make sure you come out and support the VCU Rams. Back to you guys.
Well, that's a good trivia question. Everybody knows that Jeff was the youngest coach in D1 basketball when he took over the Rams program. How old was he? I did not almost give it away, Rodney. I just said he was the youngest.
You did.
I didn't say where, but you were nervous, weren't you?
Yeah, great self-control there.
But I'll tell you what, this is a business trip. But certainly Jeff Capel brought his family, his wife, his 2 daughters, Cameron. Yes, she's named after Cameron Indoor Stadium. He is a Duke guy. And Sydney. I don't know who Sydney's named after. 2 beautiful little girls. His family's here. His mom's here. His cousin Julian Capel, who played for the Rams, is here. A lot of family. It's really a homecoming. But right now, it's all business. The friendships have been set aside because this is their first road game. They're number 17 in the country, and right now they're on the ropes by the Rams.
Yeah, and I guarantee you, he's getting into them in that huddle over there, saying, we've got to get some stops to get this back in control. And, you know, we talked about the game being in the mid-80s. Oklahoma not scoring, averaging almost 80 points a game this year, only with 49 right now with 11 minutes and 50 seconds to go.
Jay Gavin is leading the Rams with 13. Larry Sanders has a dozen. Tony Crocker leading OU with 13. Willie Warren has 6. And there's Warren right now. Tiny Gallum with the tip. No. Rebound Rams, and they're pushing it. That's a tough pass to make, but fortunately it goes out on Oklahoma, so the Rams retain possession.
Yeah, that ball would have had to have eyes to get through all those hands.
Boy, it was a tough ticket to get into this building tonight. I know I certainly got a few phone calls. You always hear from people you haven't heard from in a while, right, Rodney?
Yeah, I ran my text messages up this month for sure. This week they were rampant trying to get into this game.
It's great to see that much enthusiasm for Ram basketball. TJ Gwynn over to Rozelle for 3, a little short. Tiny Gallon with a rebound. It's one of those ironic nicknames. He's far from tiny. Mason Griffin fall away. No, Gallon just plowed his way through the lane. I can't believe there wasn't a foul. Then there was Pledger, and they're going to call that on Burgess. That's tough. Just let him play. That should be a no call, Rodney.
You know, he was facing down. I watched that official, the slot official, the whole time. He was looking down the court, turned around, saw the player hit the deck, and called the foul. If you don't see it, you can't call it.
That's tough. At the very least, maybe that should have been a no call, and as they kind of went after it. But Stephen Pledger will go to the line. He's an Oklahoma. He's a freshman from right here in Virginia. Very talented ball player, shooting with the VCU student section behind him in full throat. And he knocked that one down. So I believe he now has he has 7 in the game. He has 7 in the game for free throws. 11:14 to go. And he knocks that one home. So it's 63-51. 63-51. And a little pressure from the Sooners here.
You know, talking about the pressure right now, Oklahoma has 11 turnovers, and VCU scored 17 points off those turnovers. So I'd like to see a little bit more pressure, but we got to score in order to be able to get the pressure back on.
Gavin with a rock being guarded by Willie Warren. He'll pull it back out. There's 15 on the shot clock. Plenty of time for them to get a good shot off. That should have been a reach in on Tony Crocker. It wasn't. Gavin fires from deep 3. It's good. He has been virtually unconscious.
Effortless, Greg. He shot that from about 24 feet like it was nothing.
His 4th 3 of the game. He has 16. No good. Rebound. Burgess whips it down. Ahead to Gavin. They've got numbers. Over to Rodriguez from the corner. No good. Larry tips it over to Gavin, who tries to save it and goes to the scorer's table. Unfortunately, couldn't get it to go. Jay Gavin leads all scorers with 16 in this game. 4 threes. He's 4 of 7.
And Capel continues to work the officials on that no call down here at the other end when Sanders got the block.
Jeff Capel in his 4th season here at Oklahoma. Tiny Gallon being guarded by Larry, who has 3 fouls. And he loses the handle and goes out of bounds, and that's VCU ball.
Great no call by the official right there. I don't know if there's a wet spot or something down there, but again, Larry pulling the chair out and Gallon not be able to keep his footing down there.
And they're pulling out the towels and the mops because he definitely slipped, but it's a good no call. And now, Jay Gavin, listen, we need you, crowd. We need you. Everyone's on their feet right now at the sold-out Verizon Wireless Arena.
You know, Greg, I'm not sure, but it could be the largest crowd I've seen in here.
Certainly, it's going to be comparable to the first ever game, almost 10 years ago to the day. I believe it was November 19th, 1999, when they knocked off Louisville. You played a few games against Louisville in the old Metro, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. It was, and, you know, that was part of us getting out of the Metro. It was the only reason we got Louisville to come here was when we got kicked out or we left the Metro. Part of it was the existing members all had to return a home game back to the Rams.
And that's who they opened this building with. 10 years later, it's one of the toughest places to play in the CAA. Gavin for 3. Can't get that one to go. Rebound. Larry's got to be careful there. Certainly try to tip it, but 66-51. Under 10 minutes left in this game. Rams by 15. They've been leading since the start. Warren gets the shooter's roll. Was that a 3? It's a 2. It's a 2. 66-53. So Willie Warren now has 8, but it's been a quiet 8.
How about the pick right there by Tony Quinn, picking off Tiny Gallon, and Sanders going up and getting the ball up way above the rim and putting it in for 2.
The birthday boy, 21 years old today, and he would like nothing more than an upset of Oklahoma. Jeff Capel just kind of looked at his assistant, Mark Klein, also part of his staff, VCU, and just kind of shrugged his shoulders like, what's going on here?
You know, the Rams have not showed any pressure in the second half. They've just been playing nice, solid half-court defense, Greg.
68-53. Larry Sanders has 14. Jake Gavin 16. Willie Warren, no. Rebound to the shortest guy on the floor. Sanders over to Ad Nixon. Great look. And you're pointing to the crowd. Jeff Capel calls a timeout. This place is going berserk. VCU 70, Oklahoma 53. Rams, their largest lead of the game. A 30-second timeout by Jeff Capel.
You look at Coach Smart and his staff out there, calm and cool. Got to keep focused, though. There's still 8 minutes and 53 seconds left this game. Continue to win segments, Greg. Continue to win segments.
I'm glad they're calm and cool, because clearly I am not. And neither are the 8,000 plus in this building. You know, they bought the seat, but they're not using it tonight, are they, Rodney?
No, the crowd is absolutely electric tonight, and the Ram fans really coming out in force.
There is a small contingent of Oklahoma fans in the corner behind the Sooners bench.
They look like they're at a golf match.
Boy, they are not happy, but everyone in black and gold is feeling it tonight. Certainly a lot of basketball left. Jeff Capel finally takes off his jacket.
That's late for him. Typically in this game,
Dabs his forehead, takes a long pull from the water bottle because he knows it's going to be a wild 850 here to finish this thing. Larry Sanders with 14 now. Warren looks to pull up, may have shuffled his feet again. Pledger from the corner, air ball. Gavin's got it. Gavin, spin move to the lane, kicks it out to Joey. Back around to Burgess, and a turnover. That's Mason Griffin there. Crocker, no. Burgess, rebound.
I tell you what, you can't miss too many defensive assignments on Crocker right there. He's typically going to knock that down. The Rams really have some good luck tonight.
Joey to Larry. Burgess over to Nixon. All right, there's Gavin, gives it up to Rodriguez. There's 13 on the shot clock. They're trying to set it out here. Rodriguez needs to get it going. He does, down the lane, kicks it to Larry. Larry moves inside the jumper, rattles in and out. Burgess, great hustle. Rebound, spin move, bucket, no. Looked like he might have got slapped. Ryan Wright with a rebound there. 7:30 to go in this game. Crocker, a block on Jake Gavin, and that'll be his third.
Crocker now reaching down for his ankle.
And Tony Crocker, who is the leading scorer in this game for for Oklahoma, as Larry helps him out. And I guess the dance team's coming off the floor as they call a timeout here. VCU 70, Oklahoma 53, 7:29 to go. Let's get the answer to that trivia question from Kelly Lemon.
As I know, everybody's probably checked the web and did the math, but Coach Capel was only 27. Taking you back a little bit, we won the CAA championship that year, and then the next day the press conference came, and Coach Capel was named the head coach of VCU basketball. So congratulations to him for being the youngest coach ever, I think, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, to be a head coach at that time. Also, don't forget, women's basketball is still in season, and they are playing on December 6th. They're going up against city rival University of Richmond. So make sure you get your tickets for VCU basketball versus University of Richmond December 6th. Back to you guys.
27, but certainly Jeff Capel was taking his first head coaching job. Next game for VCU is going to be on the 23rd at Hampton. So that is Monday night. They turn right around, and then on Friday, the 27th, they play against Nevada. That is the return game for the bracket buster last February in Reno. So it's Hampton on the 23rd, Nevada on the 27th right here. That's the day after Thanksgiving. Friday night, 7:30, November 27th against the Nevada Wolfpack. From a personal note, I was actually out at that game in Reno, Nevada. And we just tell you, those fans gave us an earful. So I hope the Ram fans can return and really make it difficult for the Nevada Wolfpack when they come in here the day after Thanksgiving. Hopefully that trick-the-fan will have worked its way out of everyone's system.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I mean?
right. That's right. We'll be come out to the Rams game and work off some of that Thanksgiving dinner you had the day before.
While we're waiting here, this is the first ranked team who has played in this building. The last ranked team VCU played at home was back in January of 1993 at the Coliseum against Long Beach State. The coach was Seth Greenberg, and on that team for the Rams, my partner right here, Rodney Ashby. What do you remember about that, buddy?
Well, they came in and they were ranked in the top 25, like you said, and we put an absolute shellacking on them, beat them by 40. But when the game was over, I was in and I went baseline for a dunk, missed the dunk, hung onto the rim, grabbed it, dunked it back in, and there might have been 3 minutes left or something like that. Seth Greenberg, now the Virginia Tech coach, goes absolutely berserk and gets ejected. Long Beach State leaves Richmond, Virginia, flies out to Kansas, then ranked number 1, upsets them by 15.
Wow. How about that? That was the last time a ranked team played VCU at home at the Coliseum in January of 93. Theus, oh, nice little move there. Can't get it to go. It's 70-54. 13-point lead as we approach 7 minutes left in this game. Stephen Pledger, it's good for 3. That's the first 3 that Oklahoma's made in quite a while. Stephen Pledger, the freshman out of Chesapeake, now has 11 in this game. So they're getting scoring from other places because Willie Warren has not been the dominant force. Shelnikoff over to Burgess, pulls up, good. Boy, his stroke is nice. 72-57.
The spacing on VCU's offense tonight is so nice and clean. I'd love to see that, and that's why we're getting all these open shots, Greg, because you penetrate, they come off and have to help, and there's nobody to help because the spacing's so good.
Turnover there by Oklahoma. Joey Rodriguez is going to come in and replace Bradford Burgess, and certainly Shaka Smart, with his high intensity tempo that he likes to play, frequently substituting players. None of the Rams should be tired. Matter of fact, they should just be running on adrenaline at this point.
Yeah, and that's Oklahoma's 13th turnover, and we talked about earlier, we've scored 17 points off those turnovers. Let's make it 19 or 20 here.
Joey Rodriguez looking for an opening here. 6:15 left in this game. Theus, shake and bake up front. Tries to get knocked away. Rodriguez for 3. Can't get it to go. Rebound, it's a jump ball. Bodies are flying. Theus gets it, a new 35. Great hustle by the Rams. Clearly, they sense the opportunity and they're playing with a lot of heart and energy, but a turnover there. It's Crocker. No good. One and done. Trip for the Sooners. Rebound there with Gwynn, and here's Joey Rodriguez, who goes right to the basket, tries, pulls it back out, and they're going to call Tommy Mason Griffin on the foul. 5:34 left in this game. Rams by 15. They have led by double digits for this entire half. Matter of fact, they've been up double digits. Let me go back and look here. The last time it was a single-digit lead was 18-9. 18-9 was the last time this lead was under single digits, which was about 5 minutes into this game.
Yeah, Coach Smart called a timeout with 52 seconds left in the half, and we turned it over, but we were able to play a nice, strong defense right there, and able to keep the double-digit lead. So incredible play tonight by the Rams.
Boy, and the fans behind us urging on the Rams at every opportunity. Under 5.5 to go here. Joey Rodriguez fronted by Tommy Mason Griffin. That's Ed Nixon down to Larry, loses the handle briefly, and then he gets fouled by probably Tiny Gallon. I think they're going to call that on. It is, just his second. I'll tell you what, early in this game, Tiny Gallon, the freshman from Oak Hill Academy, looked like he was in position to dominate this game. He had 8 points early. He hasn't had anything since.
No, I mean, we talked a little bit about midway or 3/4 of the way through the first half, we said, hey, he looked a little tired. I've never seen him really get back in to that mode that he was in prior to him looking a little winded right there.
Well, and certainly the Rams' tempo has something to do with that. It doesn't seem like Jeff Capel has substituted a great deal. There's only 3 guys on the bench with their warm-ups out, so they're only going 8 deep, and it's Andrew Fitzgerald didn't even play in the first half. So these guys are logging a lot of minutes.
Yeah, I mean, there's only 4 players on their team averaging double-figure minutes this year.
Certainly, Larry Sanders there. Misses the first, makes the second. It's 73-57. Larry now has 15. Jay Gavin leads the Rams with 16. TJ Gwynn comes out for a blow. Gavin is in along with Nixon, Burgess, Rodriguez, and Larry Sanders, who's been playing with 3 fouls since about what? He came back into the 13-minute mark, 13:30.
Tough call right there. The official said that Ed touched it going through there.
Wow.
13:30, that's right, Greg.
13:30. We kind of raised some eyebrows when we saw Larry come back on the court with 3 fouls, but guess what? 8 minutes later, he still has 3 fouls. Playing smart, but still playing aggressive.
No pun intended.
We got to keep the smart puns to a limit, yes. Bradford Burgess picks up the loose ball ahead to Joey Rodriguez. Over to Ed Nixon. Makes a move. Gets the ball stripped. It's still loose. Look at Nixon fall on the floor. It's going to go out on VCU. Tough call, but great hustle by Ed Nixon.
Great hustle by Nixon. Nixon's always, when he's on the court, he's always around where the action is, isn't he, Greg?
No question. We are under 5 minutes left in this game. If you break the game into 5-minute segments, it's hard to say that the Rams have not won every single segment. This is the most critical, the last 5 minutes of this ball game. 73-57, they're up 16. Their largest lead has been 17. They led by 10 at the half. Oklahoma hasn't gotten into single digits since early in the first half, when it was 18-9. VCU's led from the start. Larry being backed down by Tiny Gallon. Lowers his shoulder. Wow. And I guess they're going to call a foul on Larry, and he just kind of laughs. And that's, again, another thing, like, what do you do?
Yeah, that's a tough call. When you got 270-plus pounds coming at you like that, it looked like to me he was straight up, but Gallon, great job creating the contact foul on Larry Sanders.
What do you do here? Do you leave Larry in the game with 4:31 to go, or you give him a quick blow, bring him in the last 2 minutes?
Yeah, I pull him out right now, and I put him back in the game after the media timeout.
And it looks like TJ Gwynn's at the scores table. That's exactly what may happen. As Tiny Gallon goes to the line.
Gallon, for a big man, shoots pretty good from the free throw line, 87% on the year.
Larry's going out, and so is Ed Nixon. Kirill Pashelnikov comes in. So you got Gwynn, Pashelnikov, Burgess, Rodriguez, and Gavin, as Tiny Gallon tries to knock down his second free throw of the game with 4:31 to play. And the Rams leading. And it won't go, and Gwynn's got it. So it's still 73-58. 15-point lead. Gavin nearly gets it knocked away. Gwynn over to Joey as Shaka Smart marks out 5, calls the play. Pashelnikov over to Gwynn. 15 on the shot clock. Gavin out front. There's 7 on the shot clock. 6. Gavin over to Gwynn. 4 on the shot clock. He throws it up. It does hit the rim. But the rebound is from Oklahoma. And Willie Warren cramping up again, it looks like. It looks like now that Willie Warren is starting to cramp up. It's his left calf again. Whether it's a Charlie horse or a cramp. Yeah, and I'll tell you what, certainly it's warm in this building because it's sold out. And, yeah, he's got it cramped up, man.
And I think he's cramping in both legs.
And the pace of play is so intense. So certainly it's a major, major issue. And they're trying to call him up and get him over to the bench so they can work on him a little bit further. But boy, he is hurting. And they're going to carry him basically over to the bench.
I mean, this late in the game, there's not a whole lot you can do with cramping. He's going to have to either play through it or, have to sit out.
Apparently there are VCU fans in Wisconsin, or maybe there are Packer fans in Richmond. Not sure. But my man here
got
is
to take that off.
Trying to do a little something to win a little something. In the meantime, we can tell you that VCU is winning 73-58. Probably asking, again, this would be the first win against a ranked opponent in this arena. But certainly when you played Long Beach State, they were ranked 24th in the nation.
Yeah, I mean, and again, we don't get that many shots at them, so we got to make them count. But this is why we talked about why it's so tough to schedule these teams, is because the VCS teams, this hurts their strength of schedule compared to their league schedule, but they can always get knocked off by us as well. So you talk about the toughness it is to schedule these teams. This is why.
And each of the last three coaches here at VCU, Shaka, Anthony, Jeff, all had the same philosophy with scheduling. Look, we'll play anybody home and home. We're not giving anybody a 2-for-1. We're certainly not giving anybody a 3-for-1. So they're going to hold their ground, but again, it makes it difficult to play big contests. VCU against the BCS, VCU 67-93 against BCS schools. Their biggest success coming against the Big East, 42-30. They've not been good against the SEC, just 1-19. But they are trying to close out a win, not only over a Big 12 team, but a nationally ranked team, 17th ranked Oklahoma.
And you talk about those BCS schools, you take our record against the SEC out, VCU is doing pretty well. Those 19 losses.
3:45 to go. Rams by 15, and there's a whistle. And they're going to call foul on Gavin. It is, which that is his fourth. That is his fourth. Certainly things starting to get a little tense now in the foul situation. By the way, Rams with 10, OU only has 16 fouls. VCU's not even in the bonus.
Yeah, the other thing we talked about, coming in, Oklahoma an 86% free throw shooting team. Tonight just shooting 67%, but when it comes down to it and these guys start concentrating, that could hurt us down the stretch.
Jeff Capel, I think, is getting a little warm. He's rolling up his sleeves. It is
putting his cufflinks in his pocket.
This is serious business now, obviously. And Larry, like you predicted, goes on the bench for a little while. He comes into the game with 4 fouls. And Gavin is still in the game. So the Rams have 2 players on the floor. They're 2 leading scorers in this game. Gavin and Sanders with 4 fouls. 73-60. Pressure on the ball. Get it over to Gavin. Gavin over to Rodriguez. This is a situation where you'd like to use some clock, but you also want to get a good shot. So if it's there, you take it regardless of what the shot clock says. Ball almost out of bounds. It gets pushed out of bounds. It looked like, wow. And Shaka Smart can't believe that they're going to give the ball to Oklahoma. It certainly looked like Jay Gavin got pushed. And a little frustrating there.
Coach Smart going offense, defense with Karel Pashelnikov and Larry Sanders right here.
Very interesting, certainly when he has that opportunity.
Gavin as well, because since he has 4.
So on the defensive end, he's going to try to make substitutions. Rodriguez, Nixon, Gwynn, Pashelnikov, Burgess. Mason Griffin with the ball. That's Pleasure with a deep 3. It's no good. Rebound, Pashelnikov. Out to Rodriguez. Being fronted by Crocker. Tries to get it across. They're trying to trap Rodriguez. And you're going to see a timeout from Shaka Smart and the Rams. Under 3 minutes to play. 2:58. VCU 73. Oklahoma 60.
Gavin and Sanders checking back into the game. Like we said, Smart going offense and defense. Important right here to get a nice, clean possession. It's too early to get tentative and wait and run it down and try to, take a one-on-one shot. I'd like us to see to execute this offense, run their offense and get a nice shot coming, 5, 6 seconds shot left in the shot clock?
We're trying to find out when VCU's last win over a ranked opponent was. The first thing that comes to mind was Duke ranked in the top 25 when they won in the 07 NCAA tournament. That would be my first thing that comes to mind.
Educated guess.
Well, we're trying to go through the media guide right now, and we'll try to get that for you. Because win or lose, it would be interesting to note, as Vin Scully always said. Rams with the ball, under 3 minutes to go. Get into the backcourt and crazy pressure here. And Rodriguez dribbles right through it, and they knock the ball away. It's loose. Turnover. Pledger to Mason Griffin, and the layup's in, and the pressure works. It's 73-62. The lead is 11 with 2:44 to go. Rodriguez, a lot of pressure here. They're trying to trap the ball. They get the ball to Gavin. Across the timeline, 2:30 left in this game, Rams by 11. Bounce pass to Burgess. Burgess over to Gavin, and the Rams trying to shorten this game. Gavin's leading all scorers. We're leading the Rams with 16. 7 on the shot clock. Gavin up to Larry, and the slam dunk! Left all alone in the paint.
Thank you, Jay Gavin. Great ball handling right there. Lobs it up to Larry Sanders, and Larry slams it in.
Oh, and a block by Larry. 3 by Crocker's good. So the lead is now 10, 75-65, 1:54 to go. It has not been a 10-point game since halftime. Not since halftime has it been a 10-point game. But that's what it is right now with 1:54 to go. And certainly stranger things have happened. Whenever I hear about a 10-point lead late in the game, I think about Duke, Maryland several years, well, not several, about 5 years ago when the Blue Devils rattled off 10 points in under a minute, Rodney.
Oh, it can happen. With the three-point line and the scores they have on this team, it absolutely can happen. The Rams are going to have to come out, beat the pressure, and maintain their control on the offensive end to run a little bit more time off the clock. But first, we have to come out and beat this pressure.
VCU just 9 turnovers tonight compared to 14 by Oklahoma. Oklahoma has a slight lead in the rebounding, 35-31, but the Rams, the difference is the three-point line. Rams 9 of 24, that's 37%, and Oklahoma 4 of 22, that's 18%. They get it into Larry. Larry back to Burgess. Gavin's got it. They try to trap him, dribbles through, loses the handle briefly, hauls it back in. Gets it to Burgess, back to Gavin. 1:44. When do you foul, Rodney?
If
you're Oklahoma.
Well, you got your next foul is 1-1. So how about now? 1:37.
Good call.
No, I think you've got to start fouling right now. It's a 10-point game. What happens is if you don't get a turnover in your initial pressure, you got to foul at this point in the game.
Wow, absolutely amazing here. 75-65, VCU by 10. 1:37 to go. Bradford Burgess is going to go to the line. Bradford Burgess with 9 points in this game. They call him Big Shot Brad. He has made some clutch jumpers right now. He's on the free throw line, and he clanks the first. TJ Gwynn had a hand on the rebound, doesn't go. As we approach 90 seconds left in this game, jacks up a 3. It's no good. That was not what Jeff Capel wanted. Definitely not what Jeff Capel wanted. And he calls his team in after he calls a timeout. Going to look at Tommy Mason Griffin and say, come on now. We need a better shot than that.
Hey, that's a little bit of the freshman coming out in him right there. That's not the shot you want to take. That's early in the shot clock. You got to get a better shot than that. A minute 24, still enough time to get a better shot than that in the game.
And these are the guys that have played 25 plus minutes for Jeff Capel's team. Mason Griffin's played 27, Crocker 32, Willie Warren 32, and then Tiny Gallen 24. They look a little tired, but somehow they got to summon 124 if they don't want to be an upset victim, the first ever in the Verizon Wireless Arena. 75-65, a 10-point lead. Again, we've said Oklahoma hasn't been this close Oklahoma's been this close since halftime. As you see the replay on the alley-oop there. 17 for Jay Gavin in this game.
The last time we had the ball out in this exact situation, Bradford Burgess was taking the ball out and getting himself stuck up underneath the basket. I'd like him to stay outside of that basket to get it in.
And they break and they do foul Jay Gavin, who will go to the line with 1:23 to go. And now it becomes a bit of a chess match here.
Gavin.
Fouling, make your free throws. Oklahoma has to get good shots without wasting too much clock. Jeff Capel takes a seat on the bench, hand to his chin, certainly looking worried.
Gavin, a 72% free throw shooter on the year, and his first one tonight. And
Again,
it's good.
I talked to Jeff Capel on my radio show earlier this week, and he said, Greg, you never can tell when you take your team on the road for the first time how they're going to respond, especially a team that has a lot of youngsters. VCU has youngsters. Look what happened to them in Western Michigan. Jeff Capel has youngsters, granted, some very talented ones, but they got down early and they've been in a hole ever since. The lead is back to 12, 77 to 65. Shot no good, and they're gonna say on the floor, and they're gonna call it on Ed Nixon. That'll be his third. And the thing that VCU doesn't want to do is stop the clock.
No, we don't. We definitely don't want to put an 87% free throw shooter on the line. So it's important for us right here to play solid defense, but not stop the clock by fouling.
Right. So Tiny Gallen's going to go to the line. He's got 11 in this game. Matter of fact, OU has 4 guys in double figures. Pledger's got 11, Crocker 19, Mason Griffin 10, and Tiny has 11 himself.
Gallen 3 for 5 from the line so far tonight. Check that, make that 4 for 6.
Who would have thought that they would have 4 guys in double figures and Willie Warren's not one of them? Willie Warren is on the bench. This guy's the preseason Big 12 Player of the Year, and he's on the bench, mostly because he's been cramping. He's got some Charlie horses or something in his calves. Gallen gets another. He's got 11.
Oklahoma, not an easy road game after this
12.
either. They leave here and go to Alaska, Greg.
Oh, the Great Alaska Shootout. Boy, that's tough. Burgess gets it into Gavin. They're going to foul, and they do. It's 77-67. Leads 10 with 1:13 to play. Looks like TJ Gwynn's going to come back into the game. Gavin and Sanders have been playing with 4 fouls.
Gavin 2 for 2 from the line so far tonight. Still in 1-1, Greg. Still not into the double bonus.
And he knocks down that one. Jay Gavin, who's a transfer from Marist, was a freshman of the year in that conference 2 years ago, transferred to VCU, sat out last year. Nobody shoots more practice jumpers than this kid.
No, sir. Like I said, he was here 3 hours before the game tonight, Greg. Just him and 2 of the managers, he was just shooting them up.
His first 20-point game for the Rams. It's a 12-point game, 79 to 67. And time's running out for Jeff Capel's team. Burgess rebound. Under a minute to go. The fans are on their feet. They can sense a special night in Richmond here on Broad Street. The first win over a ranked team, 57.3 seconds away. 79-67, Joey Rodriguez goes to the line. Joey he has 3 points in this game. But boy, has he played some valuable minutes tonight. Defense, steals, passing. He'll have 4. It's 80-67, a 13-point lead. Jeff Capel's team would need a miracle right now. Mason Griffin up to Tiny Gallen for the alley-oop. Gallen has 14. 47.9.
Oklahoma can't afford to trade baskets here. And they, as long as we continue to shoot well from the free throw line, we're going to be okay.
And Shaka Smart calls his team over.
That's his 5th foul.
5th foul there for 34 is Cade Davis. Jeff Capel, hands stuffed in his pockets. barking down to his bench. He's going to ask a guy who's not even on my roster.
TJ Franklin, a sophomore guard out of Fort Worth, Texas.
You know, we're wearing headphones. It is still loud in this joint. Joey Rodriguez on the line, knocks it down. He now has 5 in this game, making their free throws so clutch. It's 81-69. Again, a 12-point cushion here. Make it 13, 82-69 now in this game. 45 seconds left. This is Tommy Mason Griffin with the ball. Needs to get off a shot. Gets it down to Tiny Gallen, who loses the handle. It goes out of bounds. Over to VCU. Every single person wearing black and gold is standing.
And Coach Capel saying no more fouls, so all we got to do is come down and run it out.
If that is true, Jeff Capel essentially gave the symbolic waving of the white towel. No more. There's 35 seconds left. I wonder if he'll let VCU enjoy this. His first trip back to Richmond since he left is not enjoyable. But for the VCU Rams, it will be history. Their first ever win over a ranked opponent in this building, as Jay Gavin with the rock has to count it down. They'll have to take a shot.
And Shaka Smart, as his head coach of VCU in his 3rd game, getting a win.
Ed Nixon, no. Rebound. 2-1. VCU upsets number 17, Oklahoma. They storm the court at the Verizon Wireless Arena. Their first ever win over a ranked opponent. 82-69. What a night for VCU basketball.
Great play throughout the game. We won every single segment, Greg. Won all of the major categories in the game. Big time play by the Rams tonight.
Jeff Capel embraced Shaka Smart, whispered something into his ear. He can appreciate it. Jeff Capel had big wins at VCU. Shaka Smart just got his first. 82-69 over the 17th ranked Oklahoma Sooners. Jay Gavin led the way with the Rams with 20. Larry Sanders 17, playing much of the game with 4 fouls. The last 13 minutes of this game with 4 fouls, Rodney.
Yeah, that's big time. That's self-control right there. We talked about a couple of gimme layups he gave up, but that was key to the success because he was a key to us in success. Had a couple big-time block shots down on the defensive end and had a couple big shots on the offensive end as well.
Kelly Johnson has Larry Sanders. Go ahead, Kelly. All right, we're having some audio difficulties, but this is all I need to tell you. Larry Sanders had 17, and today is his 21st birthday.
Ladies and gentlemen,
what a way to celebrate for Larry Sanders' 21st birthday. A sellout crowd at the Verizon Wireless Arena enjoys their first ever win over a ranked opponent. And they're going to cut down the nets here and savor this one for many, many years. There's still a lot of basketball to be played in the 09-10 season, but this right now shows you that Shaka Smart is the real deal.
He sure is. He had his team poised coming in after a bad loss at Western Michigan, came in against the number 17th team in the country, the former Rams coach, and really put it on them.
It'll be a rough trip for Oklahoma and Jeff Capel back to Norman, but they will enjoy this one on Broad Street. The sellouts crowd not going anywhere. Happy birthday, Larry Sanders. That's the way to do it there. VCU, led by Jay Gavin's 20 points. Larry Sanders, 17. Knockoff, number 17, Oklahoma, 82-69. For the entire Ram Replay crew who did a great job tonight, and my broadcast partner, Rodney Ashby. I'm Greg Burton. Again, your final. VCU 82, Oklahoma 69. Thanks for watching Ram Replay.